Alrighty. Covering this random dude's tier list, zombies map, or Treyarch only zombies map tier list. Why am I doing it? Because why not? I don't know who this guy is. I've never seen his videos. I don't know anything about this video. I haven't seen 2 seconds of it. Um, let's go. I'll try to not be harsh. This will either be a complete disaster or it will be fine.
Yo, what's good, everybody? Welcome back to another video. It is your boy Price_30, and today we're gonna be doing the
Just to preface, I'm a BO4 fanboy, sort of a BO3 fanboy. Uh, World at War is kind of ass. Black Ops 1 is fine. Black Ops 2 is a bit of a mess, but it's about as good as Black Ops 1. Extinction is great. I haven't played World War II. I haven't really played IW. Exo Zombies probably sucks ass, and I refunded it after playing the first map recently. Um, Black Ops 6 seems at least kind of good. Cold War is literally fucking worthless. So basically, I'm a BO4 fan and a BO3 fan, and the previous games before BO3 are mediocre in comparison to Black Ops 3 and 4. And everything else is, I don't know what to think of it. But Cold War sucks balls, so yeah.
map tier list for Black Ops Zombies. And the only game we do not have today is Cold War, just because I don't like that game, so I don't really want to do it.
Holy shit. Yep, Cold War fucking sucks ass. It is horrendous. It is literally worthless. If Cold War disappeared from the universe, if a fucking fairy came up to me and said, "Ooh, Cold War is gonna magically disappear and nobody's gonna know, and you can just pretend like it never happened," ooh, I'd be like, okay, sure, whatever. And then Cold War would be gone, and I'd be like, oh no, Cold War's gone. Whatever.
But make sure to smash that like button and subscribe if you are new. Let's get into it. So let's just go game by game, alright? By the
I don't like this template.
way, thank you to Immolation for making this tier list. I couldn't do that. I'm too autistic for that. So let's
I'm
start
also
with
autistic,
World at War.
actually.
So to
This guy
begin,
probably is as well, I don't know.
Varrock with World at War.
World at War.
So to begin, Varrock.
He doesn't like Cold War, which is the only game that I legit can't stand. Like I do not get any enjoyment out of it. Like literally, what is Cold War? Like what is it for? Like the perk system. Like there's nothing there. There's nothing there that is interesting. Like there's literally nothing. If I had to say good things about Cold War, if you were like, hey Nick, say 5 good things about Cold War, what the fuck would I say? Like all I could say is, it might be maybe like about as good as World at War. Uh, not manglers. Mimics look cool. Um, it has better graphical fidelity than Black Ops 4. Um, it has depth perception, which doesn't matter. Like it's from Black Ops 4. Like that doesn't really mean anything. Like I don't know what is good about it. I've played every map. I've done every main quest other than Outbreak stuff or Onslaught or whatever the fuck. I haven't really played Onslaught. I haven't played a single thing of Outbreak. I don't even really know how Outbreak works exactly, but it doesn't look very good. But yeah, I've done 3 of the main quests. I almost completed Mauer, but the timer on it fucked me over because of the, well, we don't need to talk about it. But yeah, Mauer sucks ass.
No, we're not going to go in order of the maps of what they came out. Just, what I see. So, Verrucht, I love this map. It's a good map. For World at War, it's not exactly peak in World at War, but it is a really good map. So we got to put that in amazing.
Yeah, I have very little idea how this list is gonna go. I'm not gonna be harsh though. Um, World at War version of Verrucht is literally the worst map of all time. I said this to Eli earlier when I was talking to him. It is actually the worst map of all time. Like it actually is, like, for me at least, like, it really is just the worst map ever. It's worse than Noct, probably. It's worse than Beast from Beyond. It's worse than Outbreak from Exo Zombies. It's worse than Shi No Numa Reborn, the Archon. It's worse than anything in Black Ops 6, Cold War. Well, in Black Ops 6, I don't know what to think about it, so I like, that doesn't really mean anything what I just said about Black Ops 6. It's worse than Kino. Like, it's worse than everything. The reason for that is because it doesn't have a proper wonder weapon. The ray gun one-shots you if you shoot it directly at the ground, right under you. Jug on that map is weird. Like, Jug prior to Deriza or Shi No Numa or whichever map it was changed on. Oh yeah, it was Deriza. Jug on Verrückt is weird because it has it's regeneration rather than health. The super sprinters destroy the entire map alongside the magnet feature of the zombies, like the accidental, like, magnetic ability of the zombies. I assume it's accidental. Yeah, it just destroys, like, once you get to round like 7 or 8 or 10 or whatever the hell, once you get up to like round 10 or a little past that or a little before it, like, the map, you can't really do anything. It's just complete shit. The guns don't do damage. There's no special weapons. There's just nothing to do. The difficulty is absolutely ridiculous. It's not like, a lot of people say that the old games have, like, oh, they're harder and they're scarier, they're harder. Like, they're just fucking unbalanced and they don't have content. That's why. Like, they're harder because they're low quality. Low quality as in they don't have the budget, they don't have the balance, they don't have the like, the creativity and the amount of content needed for it to really work properly. So really all they could do is just make shitty layouts with shitty guns that do poor damage because they don't know how to code proper damage values or whatever into the game, I guess. And the super sprinters are faster than the player, and every zombie in the entire game pulls you in and does not let you sprint. If you turn around whenever a zombie hits you, you just get yanked back and you can't move. Like, it's just completely, it's basically unplayable. Like, it's an unfinished map. It's not unfinished like Transit, where Transit's an actual map that you can kind of play. World at War Verrückt actually does not let you play the game.
Now, it's not going to be the top.
The zombies just come up on you and stop you in your tracks and you're dead. Like, there's no, like, wonder weapon or anything that you can do anything about it. Like, there's nothing there.
Top of amazing by the time we get further into the video, but it's just such a good map.
I like the vibes, but other than that, pretty much every aspect of the map is terrible. It's basically if you took Dead of the Night and made it 10 trillion times worse than Dead of the Night, which Dead of the Night is my favorite map.
And we got World at War Shi No Numa. I'm going to say, I'm not a big Shi No Numa guy, but the second that you give me World at War,
Shi No Numa sucks balls.
S tier. That might be a hot take, but let me just say, I'm a high rounder, so this list is strictly based off high round.
I don't really get the whole World at War high rounds Shi No Numa thing, because, like, they're saying, like, oh, Shi No Numa World at War is great because you can get extremely high rounds. Like, that's just an exploit. Like, that's like a mistake. It's not really like a proper round. Like, getting to fucking, like, round 4,000 on Shi No Numa doesn't really mean much of anything.
I'm not an Easter egg guy. I ain't smart enough for that.
I guess I can kind of get like a expectation for what the video is going to be like then. Yeah, I was thinking that, like, when he put Verrückt World at War in Amazing, I don't know, he said he doesn't like Cold War. I guess I'm going to assume what he likes is he likes extreme difficulty, and he doesn't really care about like having a lot of content. Not extreme difficulty in the sense that like Gorod Krovi or what, or Blood of the Dead are extreme difficulty, but like the more unbalanced kind of difficulty where you kind of just get fucked over and there wasn't really that much you could do.
So that's just
Um,
helps in general with the list. And then we have World at War Knocked. I'm gonna be honest, dookie but playable. It's a good map. It was the first map we ever had. You know, it's not bad, but man, 5 minutes for the first round is just tragic, just tragic. Then we have Derice, really good.
Ariza on World at War is the only serviceable World at War map, and by serviceable I mean it's good. I prefer the Black Ops 1 version over all the others. Black Ops 3 version of it looks like ass, and just doesn't really work that well with Black Ops 3. Like, it works fine with Black Ops 3, but the whole vibe of Deriza is just kind of lost in Black Ops 3. I don't like how it's bluish, wintry with some super orange lighting from fire through windows. Like, it's just kind of ugly looking. Like, why would you take Deriza, make it this bluey snow map with orange? Like, it's just kind of ugly.
Map. I'm gonna say it's amazing.
I'd say it's the worst looking map of all time.
I'm actually gonna put it ahead of World at War because it's a really good map. Love that map, but to be honest, there's so many things.
I would sort of agree with putting it in amazing, I guess. I don't know. The lowest I would ever put Deriza is in B tier. That's the lowest I would ever put it. The highest would be S, but I would probably just put it in A.
Things that you could do in other maps that they've already.
My tier list that I always use, I always make sure to have S tier, A tier, B tier, C tier, D tier, E tier, and F tier. E tier is like bad maps, F tier is super bad maps, D tier is like kinda bad, C is whatever, B is good, A is great, and then S is extremely great. And then I often put a U tier for like a few maps. U as in Ultra, which is above S, but I made that up.
Done that are better. So I mean, it's a fair placement. And then we going into BO1. So BO1
BO1
Verruct.
Verruct is alright, I
Once
guess.
again, love Verruct. That's in good. And by the way, yes, we are doing duplicates just because they are different maps in a way.
I would put it in like around average or something, or maybe a little below average.
Yeah. Then let's see. So we got BO1 Knocked. Once again,
I'd put it
actually, I'll
like
put it above
close to
World
F.
at War Knocked.
So
There
I'd put
is
it
some
around there.
things that it does have that are better than the original.
Knocked, there's not really anything to say about it. The layout's just bad. It's not very playable. Like, you can't really train that much. There's not really anything to do. It's just kind of whatever.
One Chino Numa. It's the worst out of them, but I'll take it. It's not a bad map overall. I don't personally like it too much, so I'm just gonna put it in front of.
This is close enough to where I would put it. I would put it in like C tier or maybe B tier, just because it's like, it's good. I like the concept of it. The wonder weapon's really cool. The layout is, I don't know, it's like kind of maybe a little bad. The enemy types are all right. It's too hard for me to get free perks on that map. I don't know why. It just doesn't work. Like, I do it properly, and the monkeys just don't show up.
Chino, it's a decent map. It's not the best. It's not the worst. I'll take it. Moon. You know, like I said, I'm a high rounder, but I actually don't care for this map.
This is really weird. Like, half of this I terribly disagree with. Well, this is kind of weird. Like, I disagree with this a lot. Like, the list, but I also agree with a lot of it. Like, he put Knocked in, like, near the bottom, and he's putting Moon, like, a little above that, and he's putting Shang around that. So it's kind of weird. Like, I agree with all of it, basically, but just small bits of it, like Shino Numa being an S, and World at War Verruct being an amazing, is just extremely extremely bizarre to me, but everything else is basically perfect, other than Shinonuma being indecent.
So I mean, I'll put it in decent, but it's not one of those maps that I'm gonna go back to unless I'm doing like a starting room or something.
I wouldn't really care to rank the remastered maps by like every version of them. I would just personally rank them based like I would just rank them as just one thing, but I would do it by whichever version of that map is the best one. Like if I was ranking Origins, I would do it with the Black Ops 3 version in mind because I prefer the Black Ops 3 version.
It's not exactly one of my favorites. Not one of those maps that I'm gonna go back to unless I'm doing like a starting room or something. It's not exactly one of my favorites. And then BO1
Moon is it's cool, but that's really all that can be said about it. It's cool. Like the layout is terrible, the astronaut is terrible. I don't like the no the Moon Lake Groom Lake area. Like that shit kind of sucks. It's annoying having friends that won't leave the area and then we just and like fail because they just won't leave the area because they think they're like FaZe Clan or whatever.
Kino, A tier. I'm actually gonna put that.
I would put Kino like at the bottom pretty much.
Put it above the Reese. Yeah, we'll put it above the Reese.
Saying it's better than Deriza is acceptable just because it's pretty much the same as Deriza. I just like Deriza better because I like the layout more and it has the Thompson and the STG 44. And I like its vibes more and the story is better and stuff. But Kino is fine. I just don't really like I would put Kino in like E tier at best, but I would put Deriza in like B tier or A tier, which I guess like in terms of content that doesn't really make sense, but Deriza is like it's more of like a condensed map. The layout flows differently. The Kino layout is just kind of weird. Like there's the outside area that I don't really like. There's like the upstairs area next to the outside area that just kind of sucks. Um, the changing room section is terrible. I don't like the layout's just kind of really weird. Like it's partially very open-ish, and then it's the rest of it is extremely cramped.
It's a great map. You know,
It doesn't really have anything to it other than the Thunder Gun that's stolen from Ascension.
BO1
It's basically the most unoriginal map of all time.
with the Thunder Gun not being able to give you drops. It's tragic, but it's a really
Ascension
good map.
sucks balls.
Then we got Ascension. Simple. S tier, great map. Love that map. Even in BO3. I'm not gonna lie, BO3 will probably get an S tier for that as well. It is just such a good map overall. And
I'm glad he likes these maps, but yeah, I don't. It's really weird to me. Like I see people put Ascension like at the top, and I'm just like, I'm just kind of like I'm just kind of confused. Like whenever people do that, like I don't know. Like it's really weird to me. I care about maps more like Blood of the Dead and like the more intense maps, like I don't know, Shadows of Evil, Blood of the Dead, Zetsubo, Revelations, Dead of the Night, Ancient Evil. Like I like the high quality, crazy maps with good wonder weapons and layouts and stuff. Like things that have, like I like maps that are like that have a lot of character to them and are visually appealing and have good wonder weapons and layouts. I repeated myself, but yeah, those are the kinds of maps that I like. I don't really care about maps like Die Rise and Ascension and Call of the Dead and Shinonuma and Die Maschine. Like these maps are just kind of filler and just exist. There's not really much cohesion to these maps. It's just like, oh, we have a shitty layout with whatever atmosphere and we have annoying gimmicks and boss enemies and just nothing to do. There's no interesting like perks or anything. It's just like, oh, you buy Jug and Double Tap and Speed Cola and Quick Revive. Yeah, I don't know. Like, my least favorite maps in Black Ops 4 are Classified, Tag der Toten, 9, and Alpha Omega. The other four maps are S tier, but those four maps are a bit less than that. And even those maps, all of those maps make pretty much every map in Black Ops 1 and World at War just kind of look like ass in comparison to all of those maps except like Classified. And even then, Classified, I ranked it higher than almost every Black Ops 1 map, which is bizarre to me simply because I don't give a single shit about Classified and I still rank it higher. Simply just because it's higher quality and looks better and it's on Black Ops 4, therefore it has more variety and is more like balanced and such.
And then we have Derice. I mean, Derice as well.
Ascension, like it's just so weird because like, oh, we have Noct and then we have Rooked, which is basically Noct, but it has super sprinters and some extra stuff added like perks or whatever. So it's just like they don't really stand out that much. Like the only thing that stands out from those two is one of them is better, kind of, but then the super sprinters ruin it. And then there's Shinonuma, which is basically just Verrückt, but it's more open and it doesn't have super sprinters. And it has the Wunderwaffe, which is from Der Riese. And then there's Kino, which is like Der Riese, but it has the Thunder Gun that's from Ascension. So basically, we go from Noct. So we go from Verrückt being like Noct to Shinonuma being like Verrückt to Der Riese being like Shinonuma to Kino being a copy of Der Riese, Kino being a copy of Der Riese, and then Ascension being a copy of Kino, and then after that there's Call of the Dead, which is just like, oh, we have shitty Wonder Weapon, shitty layout, shitty blah blah this. George is annoying. I don't know, like all the maps just feel like filler. Like pretty much every map before Mob of the Dead is bad. Like almost every single map. Literally the only maps where I would say, yeah, that's a good map before Mob of the Dead is Der Riese and Shangri-La, and neither of those are S tier. So I don't know.
It's good, but it's better on World at War.
That's a good place to put Black Ops 1 Der Riese.
And I believe that's all of the BO1 maps. Let me just double check real quick. Yeah, it is. All right. And then so we're moving on to BO2. So we do have some maps from
Cell Block.
Grief.
Oh,
And
it's got Black Ops 6 on here?
I'm gonna be honest. Let's just like we're gonna put that there. You know, this might be a hot take.
What?
It it's alright.
Grief?
It's alright. But let's get like really down to the barrel, alright? Transit.
I didn't even know that it was called Cell Block. I don't even.
Hate that map. Nothing good for high rounds. The jet gun was terrible. It's good in BO6, but that doesn't make up for it back then. Still, you know, it's an okay map, but at the end of the day, no. And then, all right.
Transit is a fucking failure at a map. It's basically a masterclass in terrible zombies design. Like, it's literally just what is bad about a zombies map. Every fucking aspect of Transit is exactly that. Like, if you want to make a map, be like, okay, what is a bad map? What are bad things in a map? And you look at Transit and you're like, okay, don't do that. Every fucking aspect of Transit is bad, and it is actually like astonishing how bad it is. It's not just like it's not like Shinonuma where it's like, oh, it's bad because it's boring or like the layout is whatever. It's just bad because like in very specific ways that I don't even know how they even thought of to do that, let alone go through with it and keep it there. Even after the backlash. Like, it was so bad that literal Black Ops 1 players thought it was bad. Like, Transit is considered bad compared to Moon and Call of the Dead and fucking Nocturne Toten and Kino. Like, that's how bad Transit is. It's known as the bad map when it's the first map in Black Ops 2. It was always known as that. It's always known as the bad map in a sea of bad maps. It's like looking at a fucking pile of garbage and being like, wow, this piece of garbage is a real piece of garbage. It's like, that's what transit is. It's absolutely bizarre. Like, I could list what is bad about the map, but the list of bad things about the map is so long that there's no point. I guess I will list them. It's, well, literally every single aspect about the map is bad. Every fucking aspect. It's not just like, oh, we accidentally made a map that's less than stellar or it's uninteresting. Like transit. The layout is bad, the characters are bad, the story is bad, the atmosphere is fine-ish, kind of, sort of, kind of. I don't know how you even have atmosphere in a map this barren. So yeah, the layout is bad, the characters are bad, the atmosphere is good, I guess. Like literally the only thing outside of the atmosphere being good-ish, the characters are bad, the layout is bad, the wonder weapon, so-called wonder weapon, is bad, the buildables are bad, the buildable system is bad, the main quests are bad, the pack-a-punch quest is bad, the traps are bad, the bus is bad, even though it's the whole fucking point of the map, and even the map is named after it. The bus is basically worthless and doesn't do anything because it's too slow and is dangerous to be on and can fuck you over. It also blocks training paths. There's nothing at town. The farm box location is the worst box location of all time, and it's basically the worst box location you can possibly have. Like, how do you even have a worse box location than the one at farm? You're on a ledge that has a small opening you can drop down while zombies jump up on top of it. Meanwhile, right behind you, there's a turn into a doorway that's right next to a barrier. Like, what the fuck? And you take fall damage if you fall down from that ledge, on top of the fact that there's fire next to that, so you can run into the fire and also damage yourself. And since the zombies run through the fire, there's going to be fire zombies. So you basically have exploding zombies that you're fighting in like the fucking extremely close quarters section where you're buying the box.
Next we got, actually I forgot 5. Let me do that real quick. 5, decent.
Even the Avogadro is bad. Yeah, I'd put 5 exactly there. 5 is just kind of whatever. The layout, it works well for what it's going for, but in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't. The layout is just kind of like it holds it back, but it's not really in like a super bad way. It's really weird. It's just kind of like, it's good layout and bad layout at the same time. The Pentagon Thief is really poorly balanced, but I guess it makes the map better. Like, I don't know, like, the map is so whatever that even bad parts of the map are considered good things just because they make you feel something in the map instead of just being a piece of shit.
Actually, nah, it's good. It's good. Good map.
Close enough.
Definitely not my favorite, but I like the map. And anyways, back to BO2. My bad. And also, in BO1, we have
Call of the Dead is like Ascension in the sense that people say that it's the greatest thing of all time, and I don't really get it. He's probably gonna say that, but whatever. I just don't really see what's so good about it.
Call of the Dead. Call of the Dead, it's a good map. I'm not personally a big fan. So, I'm not going to lie. This is going to be an incredibly hot take, but it's only decent.
I would actually put it in like E tier. I would put it in D tier at best. So like 2 tiers above F. That's the best I could place it. Just because like the layout is bad, George is bad, the electric zombies are bad. There's not really any story outside of just being in like a film studio thing, kind of. The voice lines are repetitive. Um, Main quests are bad. There's really no, like the wonder weapons are terrible. Like there, I don't see why people act like this is like a top 5 map or something. Like what I like Mr. T Lex fight is it's like his second favorite map, and he says the layout is really good. It's just not like everything about the map is bad. Really, like I don't know. Like the atmosphere is fine. Other than that, it's just everything about it is just bad.
Shang, but not
There's nothing exciting. That's kind of my issue with like the really old zombies content, like before Mob of the Dead and such. Even including Mob of the Dead to a point, like the stuff before the like main parts of the Blundell era, those maps are just so fucking. Some of them are like basically the same as the others. Like the maps just don't stand out, and when they do stand out, they stand out in ways that are bad or ways that like I don't know. Like the maps are so mediocre at best that bad things in those maps are sometimes good things just because of the fact that they just wouldn't have anything without these bad elements. It's not like Voyage of Despair and Alpha Omega and like fucking Dead of the Night where these maps are like borderline flawless and there's basically nothing to say bad about them other than like missed opportunities or like nitpicks or something, like very tiny nitpicks. Like there's nothing wrong with these maps at all. There's no like the old maps, they just throw shit at you that you're supposed to deal with and you just can't really do much about it. The Pentagon Thief, he spawns in. Are you on the railing? Are you on the catwalk area? If so, you'll probably beat him as long as you have a wonder weapon. If you don't have a wonder weapon, you're fucked. If you're not on the catwalk, you're fucked. Like how, there's also George where he just fucking screams constantly whenever you shoot at him. Even when he's already activated. Even when he's already running at you. He screams when your friends shoot at him, no matter where you are on the map, I'm pretty sure. And it freezes you in place. That map is completely busted on Black Ops 3 because of the AI. Like, you just get fucking one-shotted by the electric zombies and George. Like, they just get right up on you and you just die. It's really bizarre.
not crazily.
Like, the old maps are just like they're just like, oh, I'm playing Ascension. Why am I playing Ascension over Call of the Dead? I don't know. Why am I playing Die Rise over Transit? I don't know. Like, why am I playing Nuketown over Kino or over Ascension or Shinonuma or Deriza or Noct? Like, what? Like, there's nothing there that makes any of these maps exciting or interesting. It's just like you spawn in, you go by the box, and you get a wonder weapon out of the box. You get Pack-a-Punch through simple means and you get monkey bombs or a Gersh device. Like there's just nothing to these maps. There's just nothing. Like in Black Ops 4, it's like, oh, you spawn in, you get a wonder weapon through a quest, you get a equipment through a quest, you build a shield that gives you a unique a weapon with it. Um, you're able to use like elixirs and like attachments and there's like interesting perks and all that and there's perk modifiers and then there's like unlimited sprint and your like wraith fires and shit. Like there's like a flow to the game that's like very cohesive. Black Ops 1 is just running around with a fucking ray gun. That's really all old zombies is. It's just you spamming the ray gun on the floor and hoping you don't get trapped.
Then, all right, in another map, Diner. Diner, it's a good map. It's kind of boring, but
Is I'm so confused right now.
being that zombie in that game mode,
Okay, at first I thought he thought that Diner was a survival
it was so much
map.
fun just for the memories. So I'm gonna put that in decent as
Turned, yeah, let's just say turn should never exist. So yeah, even grief. I don't like grief. I'm extremely, extremely, extremely top tier at zombies. And I don't really care about the whole concept behind grief. Like I don't. Turned is genuinely a shocking level of creative vacuousness from Jimmy Zielinski. Like, was he actually intoxicated when Black Ops 2 was being made? Like, I don't mean that as like a rhetorical question or a joke. Like, I'm actually like, was there something happening with his brain? Like, what the fuck was going on? Like over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. Like at least with Buried, like the map is like borderline good or whatever. Like it's like a fine map. It's not like super terrible or anything. It's not really like a bad map. I kind of hate on it, but it's not like bad. But like what the fuck happened with early Black Ops 2? Like what happened? Because we got the bank system, we got Turned, we got fucking Grief, we got 3 survival maps. We got Transit and Die Rise. We got Transit's really bizarre buildables that don't do shit. And the buildable system, like the parts system, where you can carry one part at a time. The main quests were terrible. You got 2 sides of the main quest, where only one of them is canon. The layouts were absolutely beyond horrendous. The way you get Pack-a-Punch in Transit is terrible. The elevators in Die Rise, the way you have to go through the entire map on Die Rise to even just get to one level above where you're at currently or below the level you're at currently or whatever you want to call it or whatever you want to say. Like over and over and over and over and over again, the dude just fucking has terrible design choices. Oh my god. I don't even think I mentioned the bank and the locker and the persistent upgrades or the perma perks people call them. That shit might sound good, like those things might sound good to like the average person, but to me, the whole like persistent upgrades, like the ones that were in the game, like that shit was so unbalanced and overpowered alongside with the bank and the locker. Like this shit is insane. Like actually bizarre gameplay designs. Like holy fucking shit, dude. You can just go on Die Rise. So you spawn in on round 1. You go down the elevator for free. You immediately run over to the locker and pull out a Pack-a-Punched LMG. Or no, Pack-a-Punch Sniper. Oh wait, no. Even before this. Okay. So you're going to start a match of Die Rise. Okay? So you want it to be I think it's 4 hit down whenever you get the Jug perma perk. So in order to do that, you go to Buried and you kill yourself 3 times in a row in order to get extra hits of health on your next match. And then you load into Die Rise with a 4 hit down. You get your points out of the bank and a Pack-a-Punched SVU out of the locker. You build the Slickifier, and you get the Slickifier. You have all that done, and you have the power turned on. All that on round 1 within like 2 minutes. Every single time with no like difficulty or anything. And you use the persistent upgrade, like the perma perk, for the sniper, and you get a shit ton of points through that. Like you get completely set up on round 1 without doing a single bit of damage. You know, all your perks and everything just on round 1 without having to do anything. And that's on top of how overpowered the Slickifier is. Like it's just what the fuck was he thinking, dude? Like what And then there's the fact that Avogadro, the only way to kill Avogadro is by throwing an EMP. or by knifing him whenever he's hunched over when he's like by shooting at you. You knife him when he does that, which people still don't know to this day, even though I knew that when I was like 10.
as well. Die Rise. Absolutely hate this map. It could be a
Yeah, it's weird. Like I disagree with a lot of it, but then I agree with a lot of it. It's really strange.
hot take. I've fallen off that thing way too many times. This liquefier is cool. It's a cool design.
Die Rise. Whenever I was talking about Die Rise, I didn't even mention falling off the map just because of how bad the map is. I don't even have to mention that because it doesn't matter. Like the falling off the map thing, like that's not even the issue with the map. The issue with the map is just the layout is dog shit. The only other issue with the map is like it's a little ugly. But like most of it is pretty ugly looking kinda. And the Black Ops 2 like Victus features of like the perma perks and the bank and locker and stuff are really dumb. And the buildables and stuff are like dumb. And Who's Who doesn't really make any sense. Like Who's Who basically only exists to obtain for free through the jumpers.
Terrible map. I'm sorry. If you don't like that, too bad.
Yeah, Die Rise fucking sucks. It just sucks. Like the highest I can put it is E tier.
All right, Town.
I would probably have to put it in an F because why would I put Die Rise in E tier? Like what compares to Die Rise and is not an F? Or like what is an F and is like way worse than Die Rise?
S tier. I love that map. It is the best survival map we've ever had. It is the most grounded. When I think of zombies, I think of Town. It is that map that I could go to and play any day of the week.
Town, I'm not really gonna like I'm not like offended by it obviously about this placement. Um I think it's like acceptable. The reason for that is because Town is kind of like Deriza, where the map itself doesn't have anything interesting. Like, it's not interesting, but for some reason it just kind of works in a way that, like, other similar maps don't work. Kind of like how... I was going to say that it's kind of like Voyage, where I just like Voyage, and there's not really anything super specific about it that I like. I just like it because it works for me somehow. But that's not really the same type of thing because Voyage is more so like atmosphere and main quest and Wonder Weapon, whereas Town doesn't have any of that. It has some atmosphere, but it's not really like unique atmosphere. It's just like, oh, you're in an intersection and there's some fire.
That is just a good map. And following up with that, we've got Mob of the Dead, which one of
Mob of the Dead and S tier, I can't really disagree with. Well, I can, but I'm not gonna be like Mob of the Dead ain't fucking S tier. Like, for me, I'd put it in good or great. I think Blood of the Dead makes Mob of the Dead literally completely 100% obsolete. Not in the way that Revelations makes Shadows somewhat obsolete, but Mob of the Dead, legit, I have no reason to play it because Blood of the Dead. That's like, Blood of the Dead has every good aspect of Mob of the Dead, and it lacks pretty, like, just about all the bad aspects of Mob of the Dead and adds things on top of that. Like, there is nothing bad about Blood of the Dead that Mob of the Dead does not also have. Like, there's just nothing worse in Blood of the Dead, really. There's just nothing. It's more intense. It has a better main quest. It has better visuals, better graphical fidelity, a better like gameplay flow. It has special weapons. It doesn't have afterlife. It doesn't have the bridge. It has nicer weapons. It has the Magmagat. It has like the Wraithfires and such. The zombie AI I prefer. The cutscenes are better. Like every aspect of the fucking map is better in every single way. The sound design, the music, literally every single thing in the map is better to me. It's not like Classified where it's like, oh, Classified is a more chill-ish version of 5-ish, kind of, sort of. It's more grounded or balanced or whatever. But 5 is also has value. Like, no, like Mob of the Dead is just worse. It's just worse. Like, Blood of the Dead is just Mob of the Dead 2. Well, I guess you could say that about Classified being 5 2, but like it's not just like a sequel or a reimagining. It's like a replacement to me. And I didn't always think that. I didn't think that until like a year and a half ago. Holy shit, my fucking throat hurts from talking so much.
My favorite maps of all time. It is a amazing map. There is nothing wrong with this map in my opinion. And
I'd say the things wrong with it is the main quest is really terrible in terms of gameplay and replayability. Um, it's visually dull. Well, not visually, but the graphics are really outdated in a way that just really holds the map back. Um, Black Ops 2, the fact that it's on Black Ops 2 makes it kind of weirdly slow. It's not really it doesn't really have the intensity like Blood of the Dead is like way more intense and like engaging. Um and Mob of the Dead has Afterlife, which is terrible, and it has the Golden Gate Bridge, which I really don't like because I don't like having to go to a different part of the map, like an external section of the map just to pack a punch at an area that only has pack a punch. That's like the main thing that a map can get wrong is going somewhere else to pack a punch your weapons. Um, Revelations is my favorite map layout of all time, and people might say, "Oh, well, the Apothecon is outside the rest of the map," but it's not. I guess people wouldn't actually say that, but yeah, people might think that. I don't know.
it's one of those things you can go back and play literally any day of the week, and it just be amazing. And there is one more map.
It's great before Blood of the Dead came out, but yeah, I don't know. It's just even before I started liking Blood of the Dead, I remember telling my friend Keegan, I was like, I don't really like Blood of the Dead that much. That's what I said, and he agreed. Like, it's just like, I don't know what is so great about it. Like, it's good and has good atmosphere and stuff, but like the actual gameplay, it's not like super fucking ultra incredible. Like, I don't know.
That we have that is up there in my big three. These are my three favorite maps of all time, tied for number one, and that's
I feel like I was gonna say something. I don't know. It's kind of interesting because Buried is kind of vaguely similar to Dead of the Night. Well, I don't know if I should really say that. This doesn't really make that much sense. But Dead of the Night has like slight Buried vibes, I guess. Mob of the Dead is like Blood of the Dead, and then Town. I don't know how Town would compare to one of my favorite maps. I guess it doesn't really at all.
Buried. It's a great map. Leroy Jenkins. It's amazing. There's nothing bad.
Buried's pretty good. I don't like that it's on the Jimmy Zielinski Black Ops 2 era. That just if it was made for Black Ops 4 or Black Ops 3 or something and it didn't have like the Black Ops 2 like weird unbalanced features and like the layout was improved a bit um and like the whole maze and house section, like if that was better, like the map would be a lot better, but it's just kind of like it's just a very weird map.
About that map either. Then next we have Farm. Farm, I love this map. I'm gonna put it in good, above 5 actually. It is a great survival map, just like every other map in BO2.
Farm is bad, but I'm not super offended by Farm.
Next we got Nuketown. Nuketown, really fun map. I'd put it in good, but at the back,
Why is I'll just ignore it.
it's good, it's grounded, but it's not my favorite map.
Why does it say alpha? Why is it alpha omega picture? And then why is alpha omega on the bottom left? Why is that Togder? What the fuck?
Say that. Next, we've got.
It says Tog on the bottom in one of the pictures, and that's actually Tog. And then for alpha omega, I think that shows Tog. And then for the Alpha Omega picture, it says Nuketown, and then for the Togder Totem picture, it says Alpha Omega, and then for the other Togder Totem picture, it says Tog. What?
Let's see.
And then for 9, it says 11? Hey guys, you want to hop on some 11 gameplay?
Next, we've got Bus Depot.
I really sure do like me
This map,
some fucking 11.
it's really good. If you want challenge, it's all right. I like the
Let's
map.
play
It's
the
just
map
not
11.
like
11
up
is the
there
best
for me.
map of all time.
So I'll put it actually in front of Shang. It's a decent map.
That's not actually what I think. Ignore what I said about 11
This map,
or 9.
it's really good. If you want challenge, it's all right.
Bus Depot sucks
Um,
balls.
I like the map. It's just not like up there for me. So I'll put it
Bus Depot
actually in
is
front
completely
of
worthless.
Shang. It's a decent
It's
map.
it's a waste
I'm
of
probably not gonna
it's a
play
waste
that map
it's
over
a it's
lot
a
of
waste
other
of
maps,
SSD
but it's
storage.
still good. And then moving on
It's
to
a
BO3.
waste of storage.
All right, let's just start off with a banger. Ascension, right up
BO3.
here. Probably actually, it can get
No,
as you can
no,
through
no.
because is that
It's ranking
it's okay.
Chronicles.
At the same
Wait,
finish
what?
BO3. Forgot about Origins. Origins, it's okay. I don't really care for this map that much. It's the Easter egg guys map. But at the
Yeah.
same time, I can agree it's a good map. It's below farm for me.
That's good enough for me. I would put it in like S. The lowest I would put it is A. It's not really something that I would care to play that much, just because of how fucking obnoxious it is. It is tedious. It is the tedious map. People say Dead of the Night is tedious. It's actually not. Like, it's not at all. There's literally like nothing tedious about Dead of the Night. Like, if you play Dead of the Night, if you want to do something, if you go to do something, you can do it. You can do it that moment. You can do the things that you want to do in the map. Origins. You run back and forth and back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. You go into the portal, out of the portal, into the portal, out of the portal, carry the crystal to the thing, build the staff, upgrade the staff, carry the crystal to the thing, do the puzzle, do the spin lever things 4 fucking times, get inside the robot 800, 7 tillion fucking quintillion fucking times, wait 25 minutes for the robot to come back only for it to be the wrong foot. It's like, holy fucking shit. Origins is like, oh my fucking god. It's like an adventure. It's like a fucking immersive adventure because of how much time you're wasting just standing around. Like, you're just waiting on shit constantly. You're waiting on the robots. You're waiting on the portals to be built. You're waiting on the fucking generators. You're waiting on the tank. Like, everything is just a waiting game. It's like insane. Dead of the Night, you spawn in, you do fucking everything immediately. Like, you can do a bunch of things at once. Well, I guess in Origins well, not really. You can like, you kind of can in Origins, but not in really the same way you can in Dead of the Night. But yeah, in like Dead of the Night, it's like you just play the map and you do stuff. Origins, it's not just, oh, you play the map and you upgrade the staves and blah blah blah. Like, you have to actually pay way too much attention to the Easter egg aspects of progression. Like, it's not like Dead of the Night where it's like, oh, once you know how to do this stuff, you just go straight through it and you do it. Like, even the main quest, you don't have to wait on a fucking thing. You don't have to wait on anything for the main quest. You just fly straight through the map. Even Mr. T. Lexfi has completed the map in less than an hour in solo. Meanwhile, Origins, it's like, Jesus Christ, dude. And keep in mind, Origins is the first complicated map that I ever actually, learned, and it was the first main quest I ever learned, and I've known how to upgrade all the staff since I was 12 years old.
That might be crazy, but I'm a high rounder. I like the actual challenge. That's it. But all right, continue.
Wait, what'd he say?
Be crazy, but I agree it's a good map.
Yeah, I don't mind people putting Origins, a bit low, just because of how fucking annoying it is. Like, it kind of forgot to be a fun map in like a gameplay sense. It's like a spectacle kind of map, but not in the way that Ancient Evil and 9 are spectacle maps or whatever. It's like just kind of fucking annoying. Like, it's just like the most annoying map that's not bad. That's one of the reasons why it's so disappointing that it wasn't in BO4 like it apparently was supposed to be, because it was supposed to be a reimagining in BO4 as the last Ether map, is what I believe. And it would have been so great in BO4, but it just wasn't added to the fucking game because they had to cancel it and make Togder Toten the final map, even though Togder Toten was clearly a setup for the next map.
It's below farm for me. That might be crazy, but I'm a high rounder. I like the actual challenge. That's it. But all right, continue.
Origins is one of the most balanced maps of all time. It has one of the best difficulties. I'd say it maybe has the best early game difficulty. I guess Zetsubo does as well. I don't know. But yeah, it has really, really good difficulty. Even when you have the staves, you still have to actually play the game.
Continuing with BO3. Shadows of Evil.
Even the ice staff, like, you still kind of have to know what you're doing. Like, you can't just spam it on the ground. You have to, like, maximize how many kills you get with each shot and not run out of ammo.
Really good high round map. I don't really
Yeah, it is.
personally care for it too much, but I can understand why it's good. And I've actually grown, like this map's grown on me more as I've played. So I'd put it in good.
Shadows of Evil has kind of aged a bit bad compared to a bunch of other maps. It's just poor man's Revelations. It's just Revelations, but a little more, like, with a bit more tedium and, like, I don't know. I don't really like how you get pack punch on that map. It's not that it's like complicated. It's that I just don't like doing it. It's just not interesting to me. Well, I guess it's interesting, but it's not like there's nothing fun about just collecting shit with beast mode and then running around a room 4 times and then having Margwa spawn twice. It's just kind of like, okay, and then you go to the room and then you do that. Like, there's so much to the Pack-a-Punch quest on that, but it's just not interesting. It's not like Dead of the Night where it's actually like interesting and flows well.
Then next we've got Kino BO3. I'd say this is an amazing map. Thundergun, Gobble. To be honest, it's just basically anything. It's the biggest one.
Setsubo
It's
is
not bad.
like my
It's just
sixth or
eh.
seventh favorite map.
This is the biggest one that's gonna give me a lot of shots. It's decent for you know basically anything. But Zetsubo no Shima. I don't care for this map. It is, in my opinion, not a great map. I don't like the look of it. I don't like the aesthetic of it, and the Wonder Weapon is kind of lame. You have to upgrade it to even be decent. So I mean, I'll put it in the high end of Dookie, but this thing, it's not a good map.
The Wonder
GK,
Weapon is. I'm confused about the Wonder Weapon thing he said because the Wonder Weapon is like the exact same when you upgrade it to the Masamune, other than, like, I'm pretty sure the only thing that it does is it makes the poison or whatever stuff last longer and it's larger. I think that's all it does. Like, I don't even think it increases ammo.
amazing map. Actually,
Gorod Krovi. So to talk about Zetsubo, the atmosphere is good. It's not like extremely good. It's kind of generic atmosphere, and it doesn't really go all the way. Like, it's just kind of like, oh, it's a fucking island, and it's got spiders, and it's got these spore things, and some plants, and some water. It's like it's great, and it's like my seventh favorite map or something like that. My favorite maps would go in order would be Dead of the Night, Blood of the Dead, Revelations, Voyage of Despair, Ancient Evil, Zetsubo no Shima, and then I guess Origins? Something like that. Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, Zetsubo's pretty good. The layout is kind of bad. It's dumb that the Masamune is boring as shit, and then it doesn't really do anything special compared to the KT4. Like it doesn't add anything interesting to it when you upgrade it.
Put it
Gorod
right
Krovi, I have a love-hate relationship with Gorod Krovi. I partially hate it and I partially really like it.
here. It's a really good map. I like that map a lot. It looks cool. The Ray Gun Mark III, it's beautiful. Great, just great overall.
I wish you would go in depth more with the maps. Gorod Krovi is just, I don't fucking know, dude. It's like, it kind of feels like a Black Ops 1 type of map for me or something, or Black Ops, I don't know what the fuck. It's really weird as a Black Ops 3 map. It's like the Wonder Weapon is just kind of uninteresting. It's like, oh, you can laser them, or you can freeze, or like you can laser them, or you can slow them down, or you can use the black hole instead of slowing them down that fucking one shots them. Like, oh, we have the billionth fucking laser weapon added to COD Zombies, but it also has a slow shot. But if you add one bullet of ammo to the slow shot, it becomes a one-shot kill that destroys everything in its path. It's like, okay. The layout is just kind of bad. The main quest is ruined by a bunch of different aspects to it. Like, there's 2 escort quests. There's like fucking 3 lockdowns. The trophy part is stupid. The way you get the special weapon is dumb. You only get the wonder weapon out of the box and only one person can get it. It's just kind of fucking, I don't know. Like, I like that it's intense on like a similar level that Blood of the Dead is intense, and the main quest is like vaguely, like, it's pretty similar to Blood of the Dead's main quest in multiple ways. Like, um it has escort steps, and it's very difficult, and it's like close quarters, and the wonder weapon is not like super overpowered and stuff. And there's steps that are really, really like annoying and challenging as well. But it's just like, I don't know. And also, the boss fight is just mechanically bad. Um, it's just a dragon breathing fire all over the place in an arena that's not really that interesting and is way too wide open. And then there's the mech that's just kind of a mess. Yeah, I don't know. Like, it's a good map. I'd put it in B tier, I guess.
Verrucht. This might be a very hot take, but that's S tier for sure. BO3, it's you can go right behind because it does not better. Rev, it's an
Rev is my third favorite map.
amazing high round map. I'll put it up here. That might be actually not put it
Good
behind.
enough for me.
It's a very recycled map, but I still love that map to death.
The Wonder Weapon choices for that map is incredible. The Ragnaroks are cool. The Lil Arnies are cool. The masks are cool. The Keeper Protector is cool. It has one of the best main quests. It has a good story. It has great cutscenes. And the one thing, it has great atmosphere as well. The one thing about the map, weirdly enough, it's a combination of every map. Well, almost every map up to that point. In terms of its like visuals of the map and like kind of the layout. But weirdly enough, it has, to me, the best layout of all time by far, and that's like the whole point of the map for me. Like, the layout is masterfully well done because it has Noct in the center of the map, in between, like in the center of all of the floating islands that you're on, that you fly between. And there's 4 sections in those areas where you're able to teleport to Noct, which is in the center, and then Noct like links them all four of them together, and it has the Apothicon linked up with Noct, and then the Apothicon is also linked up to the areas that Noct is linked up with, but it's not through portals, it's through like, well, it's through portals, but you like fall down. It's like, the fucking layout is so incredible. Holy shit. It's like a circle with Noct in the center with portals that go to each section of the map. But in Noct, there's also the Apothicon area that has Pack-a-Punch and also links to the other sections of the map. It's fucking incredible.
It is a great map. I will say that. You know, there's a lot of issues I could have with it, but it's not.
If you want to have a good time playing zombies, do the Revelations main quest with 4 players in total. Absolutely fucking peak zombies gameplay. Absolutely peak. I got 85 revives one time on a 5-hour long failed Revelations attempt because they were really bad at the game at the time. So I ended up getting 85 revives. Yeah, 85 revives on a fucking Black Ops 3 main quest attempt.
Bad. The Giant, also in another amazing map. Love that for high rounds. Just beautiful. Shino BO3.
And I didn't even have both of them wonder weapons. I just had the Apothicon Servant. I don't think I had the Thunder Gun.
Get out of here. No. Terrible. But this one, actually, I'm gonna take this. You know, I'm gonna.
Why does Shino Numa in Black Ops 3, why is it so green? I really don't like how it's green. The whole point of Shino Numa is that it's brown and stuff, and it's like kind of spooky-ish looking. And Black Ops 3 is just really brown and just fucking, I don't know. It's too like daytime looking.
I'll do this real quick. Shino in both of these games, terrible. World at War Shino, amazing for high rounds. It's the only reason it's an S. I hit round 1007 on it. It's beautiful.
Get it.
All right, and we got DE. You know, it's an amazing. Actually, I love the bows. I'm not gonna lie. The bows give me a hard on every time I see it. That's S.
Dreisendrache, for me, I'd put it in A. It's just kind of like, it's like, oh, it's the map. It's like a good map. It's like, I don't know. It's like it's a good example of like a great map that's just like a great map and whatever. The main quest is whatever. The boss fight is kind of cool. The bows are cool. I don't really like the wolf bow that much. Like the wolf bow is by far the fucking worst one. People say the fire bow is. The wolf bow, you can only kill what's in front of you, and even then, like, it doesn't really work that well. So you can't use it to revive people, and you can't really use it to save yourself. You just fucking, it's just like a thunder gun, but like you have to charge it up, and it's not even as effective as the thunder gun, really.
It's actually probably above one of.
Like, if you get trapped, so in Black Ops 3, you down like instantly whenever you get surrounded by them. You're supposed to you have to charge down the bow, shoot it, and then well, I guess you can aim it downwards and it would kind of knock them down, but even then I don't know if that would really work, and you would also still get, like, you would also still have zombies around you. I don't fucking know. It's just kind of weird.
The essential. And then moving on to BO4. Now, I've played BO4.
The ultimate Black Ops 4 Zombies fanboy. He better not hate on that shit.
The least out of any map, or out of any game, sorry, on this list.
He said he's played it the least, and he has World at War Shino Numa at the top, and Verrückt World at War in amazing tier. Shit. Blood of the Dead is going in near the bottom for sure.
But let's just start off with a bang. Alpha Omega, no, never. Blood of the Dead.
Where the fuck is that going? That's my second favorite map. Alpha Omega it's not special. It's cool. It's very good. It's just kind of whatever. It's kind of like Deriza. I mean, not fucking Deriza. Well, I guess you could also say Deriza, I guess. It's kind of like Der Eisendrache, where it's like, oh, it's a solid map that's not special, and it has elemental wonder weapons or whatever. And it doesn't really have any new enemy types, really. Well, I guess Alpha Omega has like the Zappy crawlers and shit, and like the or whatever, but that's about it. Yeah, Alpha Omega is just kind of like, oh, it's cool. It's like, oh, if I want to play a different map other than the extremely good ones, then I'll play Alpha Omega or Tog or I guess 9. I don't know. Maybe Classified. I don't really like Classified, but yeah. Where's Below the Dead gone?
Actually, an amazing map.
Yeah, I was thinking he would either put it like close to the top. Like I think he would. I was assuming he was gonna say either great or like near the bottom.
I do like this map. I have the most playtime on this map for sure.
I assume he means on Black Ops 4.
Tag. I'll actually put that behind Origins.
Really bizarre putting putting Tog 3 above Alpha Omega. I always I don't even know which one I prefer. Maybe Alpha Omega. I don't even fucking know. Like, I actually don't know. Like, I guess Tog maybe has, like, slightly better atmosphere, and, like, the wonder weapons are, like, more interesting-ish. But also the main quest is worse, and the enemy types are worse. I don't know. Like, it's, like, they're about the same. They're very samey. And I like 9 about as equal to them as well. I'm not really sure. I still don't even know what to think of Classified 9, Alpha, Omega, and Tog. I guess Classified, like, there's not really much to say about it. Like, it's just kind of bad-ish. Tog, Alpha, Omega, and 9 to me, they're kind of like whatever. But they're still really good.
It's a really good map. The Wonderwaff sniper, it's amazing.
Wunderwaffe DG Sharpshooter.
There's so many good things about that map. Then we got Voyage of Despair.
Fuck.
Once again, down here, terrible map.
It's my 4th favorite map.
If it was on BO3 engine, just like basically every map on this game, it'd be amazing.
Ah! Voyage would work on Black Ops 3, but it'd be a lot worse. I guess it would kind of work. But yeah, it'd just be a lot worse, especially since there's some really open areas on the map. It'd just be kind of weird. Also, the Kraken would be really weird on Black Ops 3, having the Kraken. Like, I don't know, like having the Kraken on a Black Ops 3 map would just be fucking weird. The boss fight would also be really fucking bizarre because it would be a bunch of close quarters areas, but you'd have to shoot the eye. And yeah, I don't know. Like you also wouldn't have PhD Slider to use the Hellion Salvo with. Voyage actually wouldn't work that well in Black Ops 3. But yeah, people say that Black Ops 4 maps that every single one of them would work better on Black Ops 3 for some reason. The thing about that is some of them kind of would work fine. Like Classified and like maybe Blood of the Dead. Blood of the Dead would be way worse on Black Ops 3, but at least it would kind of work. Dead of the Night would just be straight up fucking obliterated by Black Ops 3. It's my favorite map ever. Dead of the Night just does not make any sense to be put on Black Ops 3. It just does not. Like, the way that AI would work in combination with, like, the enemy types that it has and, like, the way the Annihilator works, like, it would just be way different feeling, like, in terms of gameplay. Like, you also wouldn't have Wraithfires. and you wouldn't be able to repair your shield. Like the AI in the game, like having a 5 hit down and then having the zombies like down you really fast, but also be slower while the player is also slower. Like the map would be slower, but you would also down much faster. But your guns would kill a little faster. It would just be really fucking strange. It would be a bit like it would be it would be less chaotic, but I feel like it would also be less laid back at the same time. I don't even know, like Dead of the Night is like a very specific kind of gameplay. Like it's very chaotic and chill somehow at the same time. It's really gameplay focused. It's very just in your face combat engagements. The Annihilator is extremely strong and just works well with Black Ops 4. By the way, Black Ops 4, you're supposed to play it with 3 hit down. So going all the way from a 3 hit down with faster zombies that hit less frequently, going from that to Black Ops 3, where the zombies are slower, but they hit way faster. Like, that's just kind of fucking weird. While the game would have a 5 hit down, like that just doesn't make any sense. If you've played a bunch of Dead of the Night, you should know that like, well, I don't think this guy has, but like, yeah, these maps just, how would Black Ops 3 make these maps better? You would only have one special weapon. Wraith fires and stuff wouldn't exist. You would just have grenades up until the point where you get monkey bombs or homunculus. Um, you wouldn't be able to repair your shield. You wouldn't get magazine refills. There would be no co-op pausing. It would just feel less chaotic and less slow, but you would also die faster. Like it would just be less strategic. The way that these special weapons would work, they wouldn't kill the enemies when you pull out the special weapon. You would just pull it out in order just to kill the enemies, but not to save yourself. That's how Black Ops 3 special weapons work. Like none of these things work well with Dead of the Night. Like you cannot put Dead of the Night on Black Ops 3 and make it as good as on Black Ops 4. Like it would be a fine map. It would just not work. Like it would not flow right. The pacing of the game just would be sort of thrown off. It would just be really weird. Especially with the catalyst, like how the fuck do you have fire catalysts in a game that would have way faster hit speeds? Like everything would just be extreme burst damage. On top of having the werewolves be in the map, like everything would just be really fucking weird.
Basically the worst version of 5. So we're gonna put that in Dookie but playable. It's not a bad map.
I like it more than 5 just because I can actually do things in the map. I don't have to rely on the ray gun. Um, and I have like more perks to choose from other than the main 4. And like there's like you can like do shit. There's the special weapon. Like the map is very well balanced in classified. In 5 it's just kind of like, oh, you get trapped and you're dead. Like I don't know. Black Ops 1 is the ray gun spam game. You could say that Black Ops 4 is the Hellion Salvo spam game up until a point where you realize that hardcore is the original intent for what the game was like at launch, and is the way that the game like is how the game is balanced. And I tested it recently. The Hellion Salvo starts being a two shot kill on round like 42 or something, 42 or 44 or whatever. And when that happens, um the camping spot in Dead of the Night where you just stand right at the silver bullets section, um you can barely survive there. Like, you really have to spam the shit out of it, and even then, you have to use your special weapon to save yourself a lot of the time. But that was before super sprinters come in. I haven't had super sprinters come after me in hardcore mode yet. I haven't gotten to that. I tried to, and I wasn't able to get to that point. If super sprinters began while you're camping with the Hellion Salvo, even in that ideal spot with ideal perks on that map, just spamming silver bullets with the Hellion Salvo, once super sprinters start coming, you are fucking dead. You cannot survive doing that strategy. Like, the Hellion Salvo is worthless at that point. Like, you legit cannot use that weapon. Like, you're just done. So basically what that means is that the Hellion Salvo is really no more powerful than wonder weapons. You have more of a chance using the Annihilator than the Hellion Salvo. So yeah, Black Ops 4 basically has no balance issues, because the only balance issue the entire game had is the Hellion Salvo being overpowered, which is solved in hardcore, as evident by what I just said. Um that's the best situation for the Hellion, by the way. The best perk loadout, the best map, the silver bullets, the place I was standing at, and the way that I was shooting the Hellion Salvo. That's like the best thing you could possibly do with the Hellion Salvo. So yeah, basically on any other map, you wouldn't even be able to get to the super sprinters, because you would run out of ammo.
I just don't care for it.
Also, the Tundra gun does similar thing, is like basically the same weapon as the Hellion Salvo, but nobody talks about that, which is really weird to me, because it's extremely, extremely easy to get the Tundra gun. It's like the first or second easiest wonder weapon of all time to obtain.
To be honest, Dead of the Night. Once again, another thing. If it was on BO3, it'd be great. But I don't really care for this map, so it's above Alpha Omega. But I don't like that map. 9.
Oh my god,
Now, if it was
I
on
was not paying
BO3, it'd be
attention.
great. But it's not a bad. Once again, another thing.
He
If it was
just
on
put Dead of the
BO3,
Night
it'd
in
be great.
trash.
But I don't really care.
Wait, what did
Not
he
a
say?
bad map. I just don't care for it, to be honest. Dead of the Night. Once again, another thing. If it was on BO3, it'd be.
Wait, where's Ancient Evil? What the fuck? Did he rank Ancient Evil? Why are these out of order? I'm so confused right now. There's no Ancient Evil on here. Yeah, this is a terrible template. It sounded like I was gonna say a terrible tier list. Well, putting Dead of the Night in trash like basically destroys the entire tier list. It's weird putting Blood of the Dead in amazing and putting Dead of the Night in trash. That's just really strange. Um, but anyways, yeah, ancient. So like the template, like it has Black Ops 6 maps, but then it also has like screw ups with the pictures, like which map is which, and it like and then it doesn't even have Ancient Evil. Like what is going on?
Be great. But I don't really care for the. Once again, another thing. If it was on BO3, it'd be great.
Well, I guess I'm glad I talked about that a little bit ago, because mother of fucking god, Dead of the Night would be, it wouldn't be destroyed, but it would just be worse on Black Ops 3. It just would. Like, I don't know, like at least something like 9 could actually kind of function on Black Ops 3, or like maybe Ancient Evil or something could work. Dead of the Night just does not fucking work outside of Black Ops 4. It just doesn't.
But I don't really care for this map, so it's above Alpha Omega. But I don't like that map. 9.
Something that I find strange is like when people say that Black Ops 4 maps would be better on Black Ops 3, like why? Like they never say why. I've said that I've said why Dead the Night would be worse on Black Ops 3. It's because the AI would be worse, the graphics would be worse, the sort of gameplay pacing, like the fluidity of it. Like I don't know how to I can't describe it. Like if you've played Black Ops 4, especially Dead of the Night, there's like a flow to the gameplay that's like you can't. It's like unique to that game. Like it has unique speed. It has unique like resource management. It's very like cohesive. Everything exists for exists to be combined with other things. Like it's thought out. It's not like the previous games where they just were going with the flow and just doing whatever and just kind of like nothing really combines that well. It's just like, oh, you have this feature and you have this feature and you have this feature and this feature, and it just kind of works out like this. Black Ops 4 is the first game where it's like, oh, we balance the entire game around each feature combining together properly. And then the fucking game was made way easier because people complained about it being too hard, so they made it a 4-hit down instead of a 3-hit down, thereby making people think the game's too easy because they won't play hardcore mode, which is the original intent for how the game was supposed to be like. Um, yeah. Uh, so the thing about the Black Ops 3 thing is people who say that they don't understand Black Ops 4. Like I feel like they don't know what the purpose of anything in Black Ops 4 is. Like they don't understand why you spawn in with a special weapon on Black Ops 4. They think it's like, "Oh, it fucks over progression." Like no, it's a part of the gameplay. It's a part of the gameplay flow. Like you can't just take away the special weapon out of Black Ops 4. Like you can, but it would make the game more boring and the balance of the game would be kind of thrown off. It just does not work. Like you have to have the special weapon in like accessible. Like how would you improve the special weapon system in Black Ops 4? Like how would you do it? Would you get them from the box? From RNG? Like okay, how do you get like I they also want map specific special weapons. So they want one per map on top of having to earn it, even though these same people complain about Black Ops 4 being quote unquote tedious when there's nothing tedious about Dead of the Night, but they still call it tedious anyways. Whenever they call something tedious about Black Ops 4, or at least Dead of the Night, when they say that, it means they don't know how the map works. That's all it means. It means they don't know the map. It's like when people say that Voyage is too cramped. It literally just means they don't know the layout and they don't know like how to play the game, and they aren't using the Kraken or something. Like I don't know. Even without the Kraken, I got to like round 30 without using the Kraken. Like I was just using normal box guns that are pack-a-punched. And I got to round 30. It wasn't on hardcore, but still.
Now, this might be
9 is extremely overrated.
surprising, but 9, I love this map. It is a very good map. If
Classic example of Zombies fans being biased in favor of maps that they've learned and also being biased in favor of maps that um released on launch outside of DLC. That's the reason why this is like the reason 9 and Classified gets so much love is because they are not there. It's not that they're simple, it's that they have a low amount of content, which makes people like makes them quote unquote more accessible. There's also the fact that they were launch maps, which means that people were more likely to learn them or to have learned them. um yeah, it's just kind of weird. Like the launch maps always have bias towards them in like this very it's just very strange. Like people say, oh, Noct is good because it's the first map, or they'll say Kino is good because it was the first map I played, or it's a simple map, or blah blah blah, or it's like the first it's like their most played map from Black Ops 1 or whatever. And then people say, oh, Transit's good, when in reality it's just a lot of people who didn't buy the fucking DLC back then. And then Black Ops 3, it's like, oh, Shadows of Evil is good. Well, that's because it was like the only actual map that was on the game other than the giant. Um, and like Revelations is just a better Shadows of Evil. So like yeah, like there's always bias in favor of the first of the release maps and also the more simple ones. That's kind of just how it goes. It's like if a map has less content, it's more popular, and if it comes out on release day, it tends to be more popular. It's just fucking weird. Like I don't know, like how the fuck, yeah, like 9, the layout is whatever. The Wonder Weapon is, I just dislike it. The boss fight sucks. The main quest is terrible. Um, Atmosphere is very good. Yeah, it's like the gameplay is just whatever. Like I don't know, it's a very good map, but it's like I really don't see why people like it so much. I like it for similar reasons to why I like Town. It's because you're just kind of chilling with normal weapons.
I had that on another game. It would be like if it was on the BO2 or BO3 engine, it might be a contender for like my top three. So it is a really good map, but at the
Why? If it was on Black Ops 3, you would just get one-shotted constantly, and you wouldn't be able to repair your shield. If I was on Black Ops 3, the zombies would be way slower and it would be way easier to train in the fucking. Yeah, it'd be way easier to train. So basically, the map on Black Ops 3 would be you just train and the zombies can't do shit. But the second they touch you, you're just dead. Like, that's how Black Ops 3 would be like on 9. Also, the
end of the day,
fire would be weird as shit in Black Ops 3. Like, that would make it even worse, really.
it's mid. Then moving on to BO6 for the finale, the Tomb.
I don't know what to think of these maps really. I haven't played the Tomb yet, but I'm assuming it's going to be very good. I was impressed with how it looked. I've seen some gameplay of it. People say they hate it. I don't know why. Maybe they're just dumb.
I will say,
I played like 5 matches of I played like 5 matches of Terminus, 2 matches of Citadel, and 2 matches of Liberty Falls.
it's a decent map. I hate the mimics shocking you. Worst thing ever. The staff, you have to upgrade it for it to be good. But it's not a bad map at the end of the day. It's just decent. And for that, it'll be right above 9.
Dude, the zombies community, not this guy. This isn't relevant to this guy. The zombies community is so like, I guess you could say idiotic that they think that patching out the hand cannon exploit for the ice staff was a bad thing. Like they think that patching out ridiculous immersion breaking unintended exploits that are glitches. Well, I don't know if they're glitches, but like they're exploits at least. I don't know exactly how it worked, but it's like if you hold out the hand cannon while the ice staff is going, it like kills the zombies better or something. And that was patched out and people complained like how what the fuck?
Knocked. It's not a bad map. Terminus,
People also want double tap 2 added to Black Ops 6. I don't need to say anything about that. That's just absolutely absurd.
my least favorite out of every map in, Black Ops 6. I'm not an Easter egg guy. Not really a great high round map. It can go like in front of Diner.
Something that I'm confused about is like people will say that like something is an Easter egg. There's no such thing as an Easter egg map. Like I guess you could say something like Origins is kind of like an Easter egg map or maybe Dead of the Night. But like um my issue is they like okay, so here's the issue that I have with this shit. It just doesn't make sense. So these people will say, "Oh, Verrucht is good. Kino is good. Ascension is good." Those maps have Pack-a-Punch and they have the box. You turn on the power, you get a wonder weapon out of the box, and you Pack-a-Punch. In Black Ops 3 and Black Ops 4, with almost every map, you can do that, and it's not really much of an Easter egg. You load up Blood of the Dead, you turn on the power, build the shield, and all you do after that is you get the Blundergat out of the mystery box, you shock the pack punch open, and you pack punch the Blundergat, and then you're set up. Like, I don't know like what this Easter egg thing is about. It's really weird. Like, people will be like, "Oh, I like survival." Like something is, they'll say something is a survival map, or they'll say that something is an Easter egg oriented map. Like, I don't know what that means. Like, how is Voyage an Easter egg map? Like, what is that? How is Voyage not a survival map? Like, there's no such thing as a survival map. The only reason people say survival map is because of Nuketown and Town. That's the only reason, because they have the word survival in their well, I don't know if Nuketown does. I think it does. Yeah, I think it's called Nuketown Survival or something. Or I don't fucking know. But yeah, the only reason people use the word survival map is because Town exists, and Town isn't even its own dedicated map. Well, it is, but it's not like a separate. It's from Transit. Um, but yeah, if you want to, okay, so what they're actually complaining about is that the maps have content. They have more content than like previous games had content. So like, don't interact with the content then. Like, if you just want to go on the game and pack punch and buy the box, you can just do that. The only map in Black Ops 4 where it's hard to pack punch is like where it's like pretty complicated to pack punch is Dead of the Night, and you can actually solve that on your own. Like, you actually can. There's 3 vases on the map that are like sparkle, like that have like a glow to it, like they have this like effect, like shimmery effect on it, and you break it open, and you feed it zombie souls, and then you interact with it, and it tells you where to go to get the tuning fork, and then you use all 3 tuning forks on the big ass giant meteor thing by the woods, and you get pack a punch. Like, it's not that difficult. Like, that's really all you do is you break open a vase that has an effect on it. You feed it zombie souls. You do what the fucking crystal says, and then you go over to the pack punch area, and pack punch is open. Like, it's not even that. It's not even that hard to figure out, actually. Like, some people could actually figure that out on their first match if they're like really like trying. It's not like a huge mystery or anything. It's pretty fun to do as well. It's like it's pretty interesting. Like, I don't know. I don't if I find it entertaining. But yeah, like, other than that, like, there's really no maps where it's like, oh my god, you have to do all this shit just to get going. Like, the only maps that's like that is like Zetsubo or fucking Origins, and like kind of Dead of the Night, but not really. Even then, maps like Varuk don't even fucking have Pack a Punch.
Liberty Falls, very hot take, but this map is good. It is a good, grounded, high round map. It is that easy map for casuals and amazing for high rounds. Love that map. And to end off it all,
Citadel's pretty good, but I wish the atmosphere was better. I don't like how it's all just fucking orange. Or not orange, but like brown. It's just kind of stupid as shit. Like, are you gonna make a map with like a castle kind of thing, or Citadel? What, I don't even know what that is, but yeah, it's like a whatever the fuck you want to call it, and like all these like cool ass swords, and then the map is just brown. Like, it looks like an area that would be in Dying Light 1. That's what it looks like. It looks like a fucking Dying Light area, but worse. It's really strange.
Citadel Day More. This map, now I'm not a big fan of it. The bosses are great, but the map looks so good, and the swords give me just a feeling I haven't had since BO2 in its original state. I like this map a lot with the swords. I would put it honestly in S tier if it wasn't on the Black Ops 6 engine. And for that, it's this might be a
People misuse the word engine a lot. He means the features of the game, but that's not really what an engine is. Engine is, I don't know exactly what an engine is, but it's like a game development thing. Like it's like a technical thing. It's not like a game design. It's not like a feature thing. It's like deep game design stuff. It's like it's not really related to like how maps work.
A crazy take, but I'm actually gonna put that in front of 5. And that's my tier list. I mean, let me know what you guys think. If this is a bad tier list, keep in mind I am exclusively a high rounder. So, I mean, if any of that is surprising, all right.
Like the engine is like the physics of the game, the like graphics of the game, the way like the way the game is made kind of like on a technical level, like how the game runs and shit, like that's all done through like the engine and like the advancements in the engine. Like it's not, it's like the thing that makes the game exist or whatever you want to call it. I don't know how to say it.
And just so you guys know, these three right here, Buried, Town, and Mob, that's not the order I would exactly put them in. I just like those are my top 3 maps of all time, and they're all contenders for, amazing things. So that
So yeah, I partially agree with, like, it's really weird because like I feel like half the stuff on here I very strongly agree with, and then there's a bunch of stuff like Voyage and Dead of the Night at the bottom and Alpha Omega being at the bottom. Dead of the Night being at the bottom. Holy shit. These are in my top 4 favorite maps. And that shit's in the bottom 3.
that's all
That's
that is.
crazy. That's fucking crazy. Oh my god, this was just uploaded like 3 hours ago. Yeah, if someone doesn't like Dead of the Night, it means they didn't play the map. Dead of the If someone says they like Shadows of Evil and they dislike Dead of the Night, it means they literally have not played Dead of the Night. That's all it means. Like it means they either haven't touched it and know nothing about it, or it means that they played it for one match and they got the Alistair's Folly out of the box and they don't even know that the Chaos Theory and Annihilator exist, and they don't know that the Silver Bullets exist, and they never got Pack Punch open, and blah 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 blah. That's what it means. Like I don't, at least with me, like I never made assumptions about Dead of the Night. I didn't have any opinions on it before I learned the map. Even after I only had the Folly and didn't learn the map, like even then I kind of withheld any kind of opinions on the map. I always assumed it would probably be like pretty good. I remember assuming that it was like going to be like a bit of a great map. Like, I don't know. I always thought it'd be very good. I didn't really expect it to be like ultra good, but I thought it'd be like, I was, that was the map. I remember one time I was making a tier list where it was like a tier list of what maps I was most hyped to learn and play once I learned them. And Dead of the Night, I think, was like at the top. Yeah, yeah, Dead of the Night was the map that I wanted to learn the most. And I don't even think I knew what was even in the map at that point. I think I might have known that you could upgrade the Folly, but I don't know if I really knew that much about the map really. Oh my god, holy shit, my fucking voice.